How you doing, bro? All good?
Doing good, man. I'm
Yeah.
excited to hear about this show. What you got? What you got going on?
This is basically it, dude. This is as good as it gets. Nah, it's just like a little podcast to like talk to other filmmakers and like just talk about our work, bro, because I feel like we don't get to highlight ourselves at all, right?
Yeah.
So, it's been really fun so far, like getting DP. I got Court and Hunter so far,
Hey.
which is which has been pretty fun, dude. Hunter did like the first one, we called it episode 0, just because it was like all the technical, just to like
Yeah.
get through everything. But it was
Yeah.
good. It was cool. Um, and now I finally got you on, dude. I've been looking forward to this.
Yeah,
So,
man. I,
um, I usually start with just the same questions for everybody. Like, what inspired you to get into directing?
man, so with directing, I feel like I was like into it before I even really knew what a director was. Very early on when I was in like third or fourth grade, my dad let me start playing with the little camcorder, and my
Yeah,
brother taught me how to edit on iMovie 2006 or some shit.
there you
And
go.
I honestly just didn't look back from there. I recruited my neighbors and we started making a show called Nerf Assassins
Okay,
with some of my homies, and we would just make backyard films. I was like heavy in basketball at that point, so I would cut up little mixtapes for my teammates or for myself. So I always and as it starts to go on, I started to make more short films with my classmates, and like anytime I had a chance to make a video for school, I would just go all out and direct a little film with the homies, whether it was for history class and we're or science or whatever it may be. I just like loved the feeling of having an idea and then bringing together people and making it and it being something that you can watch and enjoy at the end. So I don't think I even really fully knew what a director was. I just kind of called myself like a filmmaker
yeah.
at time because I was doing everything. I was shooting, I was editing,
So nothing's
I was
changed.
yeah. So nothing's changed pretty much. I still do a little bit of everything, but I think once I got to my later years of high school, I started to realize what a director really is and what that takes. And I was like, I'm from Minnesota, obviously. So the film scene isn't huge there. There's a lot of creative people, a lot of great artists.
Yeah,
I really got to start directing music videos for local artists. And I think music videos are a great way for directors to get started because there's no rules, there's no limits. You can tell a story however you want to. It doesn't even have to make sense. It just has to, look cool and go with the song. So started there, and then I was like, I want to go to LA. That's where you make this film dream shit happen, I guess. So
yeah.
moved out to LA, and that's when I started to really understand what a director was because I was going in, I was PAing or shooting BTS on big as many sets as I could uh in LA, and this director, Mike Mahale, kind of took me under his wing, and he was a pretty big music video director in his time. He did "Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe" for Kendrick Lamar.
Oh
He
right,
did
dude.
stuff with Missy Elliott, a lot of different big artists, and so he really kind of showed me what a director looks like in LA and gave me the opportunity to direct very early on. So at 19, 20 years old, he let me direct a music video for Gunna and Young Thug under his company, and then a documentary for Ski Mask. And that's when I started to really start to feel my voice and my identity as a director come through.
That's sick,
Uh,
dude. That was Gorilla, right?
yeah,
Gorilla.
that's like I kind of went on a rant there, but that's really
Nah, you're
like
good.
the trajectory of becoming a director, and then I've just been growing ever since.
Yeah, cause so do you recommend people to start out in music videos then, or?
Yeah, I would say music videos are very accessible. You can always find an artist in your neighborhood or in your
Yeah,
city looking for a music video. And it's just a great outlet to just practice storytelling.
yeah.
Uh, So I would say, yeah, music videos are definitely a great way to get into directing because, um, yeah, there's no limitations and you don't have to climb a corporate ladder or like the Hollywood ladder to get to the
True.
point of being able to direct a music video. Just find a cool artist or a homie that makes music and just make some cool shit.
Yeah, I met you on a music video, dude. I think our first project was Show Me Something,
Yeah, show me
right?
something.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
that
that
was the
and
first one. I'll go
that
for it.
was a that was a really cool project, and I think
Yeah, dude.
like one of my favorite videos I've directed, honestly, because I feel like
Really?
we're calculated and I don't know, just those shots turned out beautiful. Cortland DP'd it and did a
Yeah.
wonderful job. Our whole team came together. We got some of the sickest drone shots I've ever seen.
Yeah, dude. Those are
Uh,
literally some of the coolest I've ever seen. Like
Shout out
ever,
Jay,
dude.
the drone
Yeah.
god.
The
But
drone guy.
nah, you met me when I was kind of starting to get into my like prime of like music video directing, and
Yeah.
then that industry just kind of crashed in
Yeah.
LA. Now I
100%.
do like now I do like two or three music videos a year, besides like with the homies.
Yo,
But
no way, actually.
yeah, bro, honestly, like
You were bringing me
right
on
now,
like two or three a month, dude.
yeah, no, seriously, like we were back between like 2020 to 2022. Or and even before that, like 2019, before the pandemic, we were music videos were how I was making a living out here. It was how I was paying the bills,
Yeah.
uh, bringing on the homies and putting bread in their pockets. But it's just the music industry has changed a lot. Now the labels just want to pay for TikToks and social content.
Yeah.
And if you want to do a music video, the budgets are way, way tighter.
Yeah.
Uh, so it's still something I love to do, and I still pitch for music videos here and there, but um, I think it's not as sustainable as it used to be. And so I've stepped more into the documentary commercial world these last few years, which has been cool.
How do you like
Uh,
that transition? You enjoying it?
I'm enjoying it. I think
Yeah.
I kind of miss the freedom sometimes of music videos, but I love documentary.
Yeah.
Documentaries were like the first type of filmmaking that I got into when I was young. And it just feels the most pure, because you're telling real stories. You're not trying to fabricate a narrative or fabricate a story. You're just telling the truth essentially and putting it together in the most appealing way possible. So I love documentaries, and I've been blessed because I kind of like in 2022 when I realized the music videos were kind of like dying a bit. I was like, I want to get into documentary more, and since then have been blessed to direct a documentary for Rick Ross and for Metro Boomin and lots of stuff for Red Bull. Um,
Yeah,
and
dude,
then
those
I
are
started working on
crazy,
my
by the way.
own. Thank you, bro. Thank
Yeah,
you.
those are awesome.
No, it's been those. I'm really proud of those. And then that's when I was like, I want to tell a personal story. So I went back home about 3 years ago and started working on my first feature length documentary project called Basketball State. And it really connects all the things that I love the most. So that's been a beautiful journey. Also very stressful because I haven't
Yeah, no, I
made
was there for some of it, dude.
$0 off of it. But I believe that it will get on a big platform one day and be something that uh, opens a lot of doors for myself and my peers. So I'm
I think it
excited.
will, dude. It's pretty sick. And I remember how long you've been working on that. I remember you were editing it while I was still out in LA. And you told me you had like I don't know how many terabytes of footage to like
Yeah,
start with.
ungodly amount of footage I've filmed for that project. We're probably at like I don't know 80, 100 terabytes by now of
Jesus Christ.
for 100 interviews, hundreds
Whoa.
of basketball games that I filmed, really just telling the story of the history and the rise of basketball in Minnesota, the state I'm from. And it's personal to me because a lot of these people that I'm interviewing and telling their story, I used to play with them
Yeah.
or they used to coach me growing up, or I have some homies that I played with growing up that made it all the way to the NBA. So getting to
Sick,
tell
dude.
their story has just been beautiful and felt like an awesome moment to like put my city on the map. Um, and to this day, I'm proud that the trailer between all platforms has gotten over 1 million views. And I've been able to just start to spread the love of this story, but still a lot of work to be done. I only have one full episode completed. I'm still working on the last three. It's a series.
Yeah, Hunter
Um,
told me it became like a four-part series now.
yeah, it's a 4-part series. So
What made
it's
you go from a feature to four-part series or like a mini series?
yeah, I think there were just too many different stories I was trying to tell. If
Okay.
I tried to tell them all in one episode or all in one piece, I think it just would have been a little too disjointed and all over the place. And you
Yeah.
wouldn't have had enough time to really get attached to these characters
Yeah.
and understand their journey. Um,
So what are you breaking the story up into? Like what's each episode looking like now?
so the first episode is called The Land of 10,000 Hoops. The nickname for Minnesota is the Land of 10,000 Lakes because we have an abundance of lakes. So I
Oh,
put a
that's where you got that from? Okay.
Yep, Atlanta 10,000 hoops. So that one just establishes the history of Minnesota basketball, some of the legends that have paved the way, Kevin McHale, Khalid El-Amin, Lindsey Whalen, the Jones brothers, some of the people that have really put Minnesota on the map.
Yeah.
An episode is all about the next generation. So the kids that are carrying the torch, that are coming up through the state now, and kind of how social media has changed the game entirely and created a platform for these young hoopers. But there's also, there's pros and cons to social media. So
Yeah.
we dig into that. The third episode is dribbling across the globe. So I actually went out to Europe and
Oh yeah, dude.
documented a few players from Minnesota that are playing overseas and
Yeah.
just showing what it's like adapting to a new culture, um, and just the faraway places that the game can take you if you allow it. And then the last episode that I think has a chance to be the most impactful is right now is called Bigger Than Basketball.
Mm.
And it's all about these players finding purpose after basketball because a lot of times these athletes are just told you're a hooper their whole
Yeah.
entire life. And so when that stops, when they get injured or when their career ends for whatever reason, they're like, fuck, what now? Like, what do I
Yeah.
do?
I've heard a
Who am
lot about those stories, dude. Which is and
Yeah.
like for some of the biggest people ever in basketball too.
Sometimes
So
they go pro or they're trying to find that purpose. And a lot of them have gone on to do great things after basketball. So just looking at that chapter. But
yeah. Has social media really impacted basketball as well? Like for younger
it
people?
has, man. It has because now everything is under a microscope. These young
Okay.
players, every single one of them has mixtapes or highlight reels, while also their mistakes and the things that they do wrong are under a microscope and seen like this. And so
Okay.
it's
But does
this
that
just
help them in any way or does it, you know?
so it helps them in the sense that they get more exposure. More people can see these hoopers, see what they're
Yeah.
doing. They get recruited from far away. They can grow fan bases that can help with them building a brand out of themselves. But then also there's cons to it. There's bad parts because mentally you start to focus on the wrong things. You start to
Yeah.
focus on the followers and the fame rather than actually working on your game or becoming
Yeah.
a better player. And it can exploit and expose your weaknesses as well. If you get dunked on or get your ankles broken,
That's
you know,
forever.
a million people could see it like that
Yeah.
now. Or
That's terrible, bro.
a coach that was recruiting you could see you crash out on your teammates or something in a video
Yeah.
and they're like, oh, we don't want that kid anymore. So there's
That's
pros and
crazy,
cons.
bro. I never thought about that. I never thought it
Yeah.
affected like sports and stuff.
Yeah, man. It's social media has changed everything, honestly. Even our industry, even the film shit,
Yeah, us a billion
Yeah.
times over, but like I was just shocked for do you do a lot of that social content by the way or do you try to stay away from it?
I'll do whatever. pay decent money nowadays, bro. I have no ego.
Yeah,
I shot TikToks uh for a pop star a couple weeks ago.
I did that yesterday
Uh
morning.
yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I have no ego. I feel like as a director, especially at our age, we're still young and growing.
Yeah.
We're not Christopher Nolan. We can't just
No, sir.
that guy doesn't have an Instagram. He doesn't give a fuck about social media, but
Yeah,
he's already
yeah,
made a gazillion amazing movies. But for us to get there now, the trajectory is just different. You have to keep working and you have to do things that just connect you to more people. You have to build your network and not be afraid to get your hands dirty. And like, I don't mind, if I had it my way, I would just be directing the projects that I'm passionate about, but that's just not a reality in today's, industry. You have to be adaptable and be able to do multiple things.
yeah. I feel like it's funny. I saw a post recently for people looking for I think for a focus puller or for a director. I can't remember. And they're like, if you don't have 10,000 followers, don't bother like reaching out.
Yeah.
And it's like not, it's like a crew position.
For a focus puller?
Yeah. And I was
That's
like,
crazy.
huh. Because I think they want to like have everybody share the posts later so that they can get the most eyes on
Uh,
it. But
they,
that's crazy, dude. Like you want the focus
yeah,
puller to have a 10K followers? Isn't that
yeah. So
overkill?
they got a celebrity focus puller. He's got some,
Yeah.
got
You
some
getting me
blue
here?
check glasses on. He's taking a TikTok, so the
Yeah.
focus is all fucked up.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Are
man,
you in
that's
LA
it.
right now or are you in Minnesota?
I'm in LA.
Yeah.
I've been going,
Back
jumping
and
back
forth.
over to Minnesota for the projects a couple times a year, but I'm in LA. That's where I live full time.
Yeah. What drew you to making Basketball State, dude? Like I know all the things you might have liked and like how it connects your whole life together, but there's a difference between having that nice idea and like saying, let's actually do this thing. What
Yeah,
was like the
I think
trigger for you?
I just kept seeing these players from Minnesota pop up every time I would turn on the NBA game. Oh, there's Jericho Sims on the Knicks. Oh, he's from Minnesota. I used to play against him. Oh, turn the channel. Now I'm on the WNBA. Oh, there's Rachel Banham. Oh, she's from Minnesota too. Turn on the college women's basketball. One of the best players, Paige Beckers. Oh, she's from Minnesota too. Kept going and just kept seeing people from my home state all over making waves in the basketball world. And then I
Yeah.
started to think about through history. We've just had, for how small our state is, we've had just such an incredible amount of basketball players. And most people just see Minnesota as a hockey state. This is what it also was. When I came out here to LA and I would tell people I'm from Minnesota, they would all kind of be like, "Oh, Minnesota, isn't it just freezing cold out there? Don't they just play hockey all year?" And I'm
Yeah.
like, "Yes, it is very freaking cold, but we also have an incredible basketball culture. We have a long list of incredible hoopers that have came out of our state, and I just felt like who better uh oh shit, lights
That's not
out.
supposed to happen. That's hilarious, dude. You can keep going though.
Um
Oh man. Okay. Yeah, you can go. Sorry, my bad.
I Yeah, I realized like who better to tell this story than a hooper from Minnesota that understands that culture, but is also a film director now with an elite ability to tell stories. Um, and yeah, there's a lot of highlight reels of players from Minnesota. There's a lot of, you'll see them on the internet, but it's like who is really telling the story and diving deep into this culture and why basketball is so great and why are these families have such a deep rooted love for the game. So yeah, it's just very personal to me. And
What was like the trigger for you?
the
Like that
trigger
I
was
gotta do it now.
the trigger was because man, I gotta look back because I really started thinking about this in like 2021, 2020.
Yeah.
It was just seeing all these guys that I used to play with on TV, like my guy McKinley Wright. I used to play against him and with him in middle school, and he got on the Minnesota Timberwolves, our hometown team.
Sick, dude. That's
And I
awesome.
was like, I was just inspired. I was inspired by these hoopers from our state, and I was like, I want to do my part to tell their story. I know
Yeah.
no one can tell the story as well as I could, and
Okay.
so I just put together like a 40-page deck of my vision for the whole project. I kind of put life on pause in LA. I flew back to Minnesota, started kind of pitching it around to local people, and a lot of people were like, "Yeah, yeah, this is a great idea. Like, can't wait to see it." But no one
Oh,
was really like,
yeah.
trying to actually help me with it until my guy Mac Irv connected me to this guy Belly, who's like a businessman in Minneapolis. He owns a couple restaurants, and he was like, he kind of saw the vision. So he put a little money in my pockets to start traveling and shooting this project. And I was like, okay, we got some wheels, we got some motion.
Yeah.
Yeah, ever since then, just been working on it piece by piece, and I've had to take breaks from it because it's not making me any money right now. So I've
Yeah.
had months where I've had to, put it on the back burner and just come back to LA and grind on some more, clients and projects. But it's one of those things where I had to just like I told myself like I would be done with it last year, and now I'm this year and I'm still working on it, and I've
Yeah.
kind of just piece now that like it's gonna be done when it's supposed to be done. You
Yeah.
can't
Absolutely.
projects that's this important to you and this personal. Um,
I agree, dude.
so
100%.
yeah, now, but I am now in the process of like I need to delegate. Like I've killed myself trying to finish this project on my own. I've already
Yeah.
put 10,000 hours probably on editing, shooting, everything. So like I'm looking to hire an assistant editor now that can help
Yeah.
me get it to the finish line.
You showed it
Um,
in Toronto, right?
yeah, I showed it at a festival in Toronto, went really well. I feel like they kind of related to that sentiment of like, um,
Toronto's a hooper city, dude. It's a basketball
yeah,
city for sure.
Toronto, the Hooper City. It's a basketball city and it's a basketball country as well. But everyone
Yeah.
sees it as a cold hockey country. So I think they kind of felt that pride as well, like
Yo, yeah.
as a basketball country. And I actually just got reached out to by this theater in Ontario, and they want to play it now because they like see the vision of, no matter where you're from, if you have a deep love for the game and you put in the work, you can take it places and you can put your city on the map. So
Yeah.
it's not just about Minnesota. I want people to be inspired about it to uh just tell the stories about where they're from, you know.
Yeah. No, dude, I love docs. I'm trying to get into the doc space myself. I like tried
Yeah.
to shoot three in one summer and blew everything up once. But
It's all man.
nah, yeah, dude, I like super underestimated the work that it would take.
Mhm.
And I think I just took everything on at once and then I had to leave after a few months. But yeah, no, I'm definitely trying to get back into those as well.
Yeah, no,
Um
docs are a mammoth. I honestly feel like they're like the hardest project to edit.
I feel like
Uh,
all the work is in the editing, right?
yeah,
Like you
because you
think you know
have
what the story's about, and then you get to the edit and you're like, all right, time to
exactly.
put
It's
it
like
together.
it's not like a narrative or like a film where like you have a script that you're going off.
Yeah,
You have this abundance of interviews and B-roll and footage, and there's a million different ways that you could put it together, but you just have to find that sweet spot,
yeah,
and you got to listen to all the interviews and find like even when you interview someone, you don't know what they're gonna say. They
true.
might they might give you a terrible interview where nothing is really helping the story move forward, or they might drop some gems, and then you got to build around those gems of
Yeah.
like, wow, that's a quote I could build off.
If
So
you could
yeah,
be the sorry, go ahead.
no, 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 go ahead.
If you could be the best director or the best basketball player, which one would you choose?
Best basketball player for sure, bro.
Actually,
What?
dude.
If I could be LeBron James or if I could be Michael Jordan, hell yeah, bro. That was my original dream to play in the NBA. But
Oh yeah.
that being said, now I am on my film journey. I've been on it for over 10 years and I'm uh like I'm in the NBA of filmmaking now. I might
Yeah.
not be the best player, but I'm in the NBA. So now I'm excited to like make, make a name for myself in this world. And I truly think I can be one of the best documentary directors when it's all said and done. Um, Someone I really look up to is this director, Greg Whitley. He
Okay.
did Last Chance U, he did Cheer,
Oh,
he
dude,
did
Hunter was telling me about him.
yeah, he did some of the best sports documentaries on Netflix, and he's got like 4,000 followers. Like he doesn't give a fuck about social media. He's an older
Yeah.
guy as well, but his storytelling ability is just top tier. Um, so I want to get to that level where I'm just directing some of the biggest documentaries in the world, but I could still hoop too. So
Yeah. You want
I'm
to
like,
combine them?
I want to stay tapped into that and become like the ultimate basketball influencer director. That's
Is that the way you're
right.
trying to go?
That's the
Are
plan
you
right now.
are you like trying to you keep talking about being like a documentary director. Is that something you want to do long term?
Definitely. I want to be just a director, period. Like I want to make blockbuster hits when it's all said and done. I have a deep passion for like writing and narrative as well.
Yeah.
But I feel like documentary is like a gift I have that's gonna help me get there. Um,
Yeah, true,
and
dude.
I'm still working on some scripts and like some narrative pieces I'm excited about, but I think that's just gonna be a bit of a longer journey to get to. Whereas like I've already proved that I can make high level documentaries. So I
Yeah.
think that's
It's
kind of
easier to
just
leverage.
yeah, this is a path I'm on right now.
Yeah.
But no, I still want to do narrative for sure.
And in
I want
terms
to
of
make.
like no, go on.
I was gonna say, don't no one steal this idea, but I'm gonna make the first ever zombie basketball movie that's gonna blow
I could
people's
take this
socks.
out, dude. I'll take it out. No, no, I'll take it out.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, what?
I'm just saying it here first, so you hear it, bro. Yeah,
Okay.
well, have you seen Train to Busan?
No, I really want to though, dude.
Bro, that movie's so good. That's honestly in my top five movies of all
Actually.
time. Train to Busan because it's a zombie film, which I love. That's like one of my favorite genres. And one of the first films I made when I was in like seventh grade was a zombie film.
Oh yeah.
Uh, but the storytelling in that one of like how they make you care about each character and how they weave
Yeah.
them together is masterful.
I have like a billion questions about a basketball zombie movie. But
Yeah, bro.
we'll
It's
leave it
not what
out.
you're thinking. It's not like the zombies like
No,
dribbling
I'm
around.
not the zombies Space Jam. I'm not thinking that. But like
Yeah, it's like that real survival shit. Like imagine a stadium, a basketball team having to survive an outbreak hitting in the middle of their championship game, and them seeing the fans start to crumble on each other, and they have to escape the stadium
oh
and
shit,
ultimately
dude.
survive the apocalypse together. And you have egos, you have a guy who is has NBA recruitment, so he feels like his
Yeah.
life is important, and you have the other guys who are just trying to make it back to their family. There's a Yeah, I'm
That's
not gonna say
sick,
too
dude.
much.
No, no, I'm
Like
gonna take this out.
that's like my dream movie. A couple years down the
Yeah.
road.
I'll cut this
I'm gonna
out,
need
dude.
some M's to make that one though.
Yeah. No, yeah, but I think Hunter was telling me like you guys were like interested in taking puzzle in like a more short film direction, a narrative
Yeah,
direction for now.
yeah. I think we've proven we can do the music videos. We've proven we can do the docs. But I think
Yeah.
what's next is like showing what we can do in the narrative space. So we all have a ton of ideas. Myself, Hunter, Savali, Kyrie.
Yeah.
So like we want to build off that more and yeah, make more short films, submit
Yeah.
more festivals. Um, but one step at a time.
100%, dude. No, I'm trying to do the same thing, but I'm just writing for now. Just trying to
Hell
get
yeah.
those scripts out. Um Yo, by the way, I've asked everybody about this. Do you remember the K2 shoot?
Yeah. Oh man.
I feel like everybody can't forget the K2 shoot.
Ketu shoot was like us trying to do the most for the least.
Yeah.
Like
And we did the most.
we did the most and it turned out beautiful. And
Yeah.
like I'm still very proud of those videos to this day. Like I still put those amongst
Bro,
the
those were sick
best.
videos.
Uh, the
Yeah.
rain, we got a rain truck machine. We had the lighting was on point. Shout out to Cortland, the fucking yeah, the team was just laser locked in for those videos, and they came out beautiful. And like it's cool to see Ketu still
Yeah.
doing music. He's starting to build up a little more traction now.
Yeah, I
Uh,
was I was looking up what do you call it? I was like getting clips from K2 for like some of those clips that I'm cutting
yeah,
together for like the podcast and stuff. And I ran across his channel and he's still making music, dude. And it's still
yeah,
good music. Like the guy's super talented. So it's
bro,
cool to see
very
him still
talented,
growing.
bro.
And he's
I
also
have
one of
so
the nicest artists I think I've ever worked with.
yeah.
So,
Ketu's my guy, man. Like we were homies way before he even started making music, and he's just a great
oh, no
artist
way. Okay. So
all
it wasn't
around.
like you just reached out to like an artist there.
Oh, no, that's been our guy. And it's just cool to I have so much respect for artists, especially in today's age. Like
Yeah.
it's so hard to be an artist. Um, like I would say even harder than being a director or filmmaker, just because it's so saturated right now. Like
Yeah.
there's
And anybody
nearly
can make a song.
anyone can make a song, and it's so many different artists right now that it's really hard to like stand out, you
Yeah.
know. Even if you make really good music, you have really good visuals, there's a lot of artists that do. And so yeah, I just think it's a challenge, and I just have so much respect for anyone that's still making music that is authentic to them.
Yeah.
And I want to help them. I still love doing music videos, but not for the label. F the labels. I
Really?
want to work with artists. I love working with just straight up with the artists. Not F the labels, we still appreciate you, but they just
No,
don't
I get what you mean though.
they just don't care about artists the way that artists do. And like
Yeah.
I consider myself an artist, as in a filmmaker, a director, a storyteller.
Yeah.
And so when I connect, like some of my best work, I feel like is with my closest artist friends like Drelly or Santana Ali
Yeah.
or
You've done some dope work for those people, dude.
Siafa. Um, yeah, I actually even see us starting like an indie label with Puzzle one day as well, because
Oh,
I've kind of
really?
seen like what it takes to grow an artist like through these
Yeah.
labels, and I've seen how they do them dirty once they're not producing. And so I kind of want to create an indie label one day that can help artists get on the map. Um,
Puzzle
but we're gonna
Empire, dude.
yeah, Puzzle Records, baby.
Puzzle
But that's
Puzzle
gonna take
Corporation.
some major financial capital. So we gotta make some movies first.
Yeah. By the way, props to you, dude. I don't know. I wanted to mention this. I forgot. You were the first person to bring me on as a focus puller on a professional gig.
Oh
And then you
yeah,
were also the first person to bring me on as an AD professionally.
yeah,
So,
bro.
thanks for that, dude.
Bro, you were a hustler, man. Right when from when I first met you, I could tell like you're just very like dedicated to whatever job you're doing
Yeah.
and have like a passion for it. Like once we started talking about your dreams and aspirations, I could just tell like we're on the same wavelength of like we actually care about this shit. Like a lot of
Yeah.
people are in it just in it for the money or just in it for the fame, but
Yeah.
certain people like us that actually care about just getting the opportunity to make cool shit. And
Yeah, dude,
so,
definitely.
yeah, I feel that about you. I feel that about Amir. I feel that about everyone that we bring on our sets. We
Yeah.
try to create an environment of all like-minded people. So,
Bro, we were
yeah,
super locked in on those shoots.
yeah, I loved working with you, man. Like we really had like a nice pocket of projects there where it's like I know every time we pull up, it's
Yeah.
gonna on fire.
You know what's the craziest one for me when I look back thinking at it? Like think whatever. RedVeil and JPEG Mafia.
Oh yeah, that was a sick one.
Bro, that was me, you, Hunter, in like a warehouse.
And Manny, that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and there's a camera there, and we have like two lights. And
yeah,
then like 3 months later, it's on Times Square.
yeah,
Bro, that broke my brain. Like
yeah,
I remember I borrowed the red from you, and I was like, like you can call in a favor, and then you're like, I'm calling in my favor. Come do this video.
yeah.
And
No,
then it
bro.
ended
Eh,
up on
I
fucking
honestly
Times
like,
Square, dude.
yeah, thank you for reminding me of it, of that. Like, there's so many of those little moments like through my career that I forget about, and it's like those remind me that like we're on the right path. Like the fact
Yeah,
that we're just able to make something to that level with such a
yeah.
small crew, the homies,
It's just crazy, dude.
and for it to just get on Times Square like that's stuff that like, kids dream of, and we're getting to do it, even if it's
Yeah,
just in small ways. So I have to remind myself that a lot, that like the high school Gabe would be like very proud of where I'm at. Cause
yeah,
right now, like I get in my head a lot. I'm like, I wish I had more money. I wish I had more opportunities. I wish I had, you know, more resources or this and that. And then I look around at like everything I've already done and already
yeah,
have. And I'm like, no, like you're doing just fine, Gabe. Like you've made it this far. You just got to keep doing what you're doing and more doors will open up. And
yeah. No, it's a
uh,
marathon for sure, dude.
yeah, it's this industry is a fucking marathon, bro.
Yeah, I'm in that bad spot a lot too, because I usually I always wanted to have more things I've directed by now, and I
Yeah.
just never really got into it. I mean, I moved countries for like 2 years straight, which like
Yeah, bro. You've been
complicates
all
things.
over.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, no, it's chill. I mean, but like, dude, the work you were doing, I remember on like Show Me Something. That was the first one I did with you,
Yeah.
and I just remember asking Amir like, "What's the deal with like Puzzle and like what are those guys up to?" And Amir was like, "Bro, I think he's like 23," and I think you were at the time, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, because I thought you were like 30, bro. And I was like, "Hold up, he's 23." And Amir's
Yeah.
like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I bet." And I'm like, I was like, "I'll just do whatever with these guys, dude." Because you
Yeah,
guys,
bro.
bro, I mean, Puzzle is still, I think, one of the like the purest companies I've worked with to this day. You
Bro.
know,
It's a lot. I feel like,
because we were just in it to make shit happen. Like
yeah,
there was
bro.
nothing else on the side, or that's what it
No.
felt like at least. We
I
just did
think it's
project to
like
project.
puzzle has always just been from like the foundation of it. It's always just been about like the love of this shit.
Yeah,
And with everyone we bring into the team and everyone we work with, they just have to love this shit. Like it can't be about the money or the fame or anything else. And I think that has like there's been pros and cons to that. Like we've gotten burned a few times because
aggressive enough.
we're not aggressive, or not even necessarily not aggressive, but like we're just such good, kind people that it's
Yeah,
like
you can get
sometimes
taken
like
advantage of.
advantage of. And like I feel
Yeah.
like we've been taken advantage of a few times. I'm not gonna say any names or any
No, there's no point.
client, but it's
Yeah.
like sometimes it's in this Hollywood crazy fucked up industry, it's like you'll come across people that really just want to utilize you for what you have. And
Yeah.
we have skills and the abilities to make dope ass shit. And some people have used that and been graceful of it and helped us and given us good money and good opportunities. And other people have just tried to use it and throw us to the side. You
Yeah.
know, there's been a lot of projects where like I thought it was going to lead to more. We did an amazing job. The project
Yeah.
came
Tell
out,
me about it, dude.
put my all into it. On a lot of those early projects in those years you knew me, bro. A lot of times I was just taking my director rate and putting it into the project because it's like, fuck, we can't afford a
Dude, I
steady cam.
remember this, dude.
But a steady cam would be so sick. So let's just
Yeah.
get the steady cam. Oh, we can't really afford this car or the rain machine, but that would bring this to the next level. So let's just put our money into it. And I feel like
So looking back at that, do you feel like that paid off over time or no?
I feel like it paid off because the body of work is so strong, and
Yeah.
that's ultimately gonna lead to more opportunities and more money.
Yeah.
But there are times where I'm like, damn, I wish I would have saved more money, or like I wish I would have been like a little more
Economic about some stuff.
yeah, a little more economic or a little more aware of like the situation I'm in. Cause also like early on with Puzzle is very much just like bring all the homies on, bring on as
Yeah.
many as we can and get them all paid. And like that's just not always realistic for the budget.
Yeah.
And so now I feel like we move a lot more calculated and a lot smarter on our productions.
Yeah.
And that ultimately led us to like getting out of debt. Like we used to be in like pretty bad debt. Now we're out of debt. We're in the green. We don't have crazy
Damn, I didn't
funds
know
right
you were in
now.
debt, dude.
Yeah, we're on our way up and
That's good though.
yeah, and we're just still we're making the shit we want to make still ultimately.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for every step of the journey. I've learned even those fucked up projects or those moments where we got
They teach
burned,
you,
like
bro.
you learn from them. They
Yeah.
teach you.
What's the
Yeah.
best piece of advice you ever got?
The best piece of advice I ever got, like when it comes to like
Just whatever comes to
directing.
mind. Yeah, yeah, yeah. When it comes to like this space.
Hmm. Hmm. Mm. The best piece of advice I ever got. I'm trying to think back through everything.
There's a lot going on in there, dude. You have so many
Yeah,
projects to go back to.
projects and like this also leads me to like something I feel like I need to do a better job at is like I need more older director mentors around me because I
Yeah,
feel like the last few years I kind of just been in my bubble and like learning from my own mistakes.
yeah.
Um, and
Instead
I
of learning
like,
from others.
yeah, I still have some great mentors, but like there's still so much I want to learn. But the best piece I of advice I ever got, um,
What's the worst piece of advice you ever got? If you
the
can't think
worst
of
piece,
it.
uh,
Maybe that'll jog
the
your memory.
the best piece of advice I ever got is like um undersell, over deliver.
Yeah,
And I think a lot of times, like when people are trying to secure a project, they'll pitch the craziest ideas. A lot of times people use AI now to
yeah,
like create beautiful treatments. And it's
yeah,
like, are you really gonna be able to make it look like that? You know?
yeah,
Are you really gonna be able to like deliver this quality of visual
yeah.
with budget? And
And
I
if you
think
like
early.
get the gig and you under deliver, it's like you burn that bridge.
Yeah, you burn that bridge. And so I think early on, I would have these crazy treatment ideas, and like
Hmm.
sometimes they would get approved. And then I'm like, then that's when we go over budget because
Yeah,
it's like that we're trying to deliver this incredible product. Whereas, like, sometimes less is more. A more simple idea that's executed really well is
yeah,
better than the craziest idea that's just like you're on the fence with like how you're gonna execute it. So like as of late, yeah, I think the best piece of advice is like less is more and don't undersell, but just sell. Don't oversell, just sell and then over deliver and just
yeah.
let them be amazed by the final products.
What's the worst piece of advice you ever got?
The worst piece of advice I ever got is fucking that you have to network, that you got to go out
Okay.
in LA and go to the club and network and network and network. I do believe networking is important, but
Yeah,
I think equally as important is just building with the people around you.
yeah.
Uh, I've built with the people around me. My two business
100%, dude.
partners are my business partners are people that I've known for years and years that we all started with nothing. We all just went to college together or we knew each other and we built Puzzle to what it is now. And like other people's approach maybe I need to go get in the biggest room so that I can meet this person and they can change my life. But like
Yeah,
probably not ready for that.
yeah,
Like
true.
you have to put in that groundwork with the people around you to be able to be ready for that big opportunity when it
Yeah,
comes. And so the worst advice isn't network, but it's not good advice to just tell someone that they have to network to make it out here. I'd rather say go to your neighbors and ask them if they're down to shoot a short film with you, and go to your homies and ask if they're down to help out with that, and go to your friend that makes music and ask if he's down to score it, and go to your friend with the nice camera and ask
Just
him
to
if
build
he has
that community.
enough to let you borrow. Like build that up, and those
Yeah,
people are more willing to help you than some, you know, Netflix exec that doesn't,
yeah.
care about you. So
That's something
yeah,
I've been tackling a lot, dude, because I just moved here like 5, 6 months ago.
yeah,
Just fresh, and it's like networking has been a annoying thing. But like the best thing I heard was like just network horizontally, like meet
yeah,
people
exactly.
like at your level that are
At your
down to do
level,
projects
yeah,
with you, and then you all build up together. So
exactly.
that's definitely been a good
And
one.
eventually, you'll by doing that and just building with the people around you, eventually then you'll meet someone at
Yeah,
a higher level that's like, yo, I love what you guys are doing. Like, let me
and you'll be
help you
ready
out.
for it.
You'll be ready for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Um. Well, what's something you look for? Like, what's like a green flag you look for in a DP? Or like your
Ooh,
ideal working relationship with a DP?
that's a great question. I like a DP that like knows what they want. It is
Okay.
like, because I'm not too techy. Like I don't know a shit ton about lenses and lighting. I know what I
Yeah.
want it to look like, but I like a DP that takes that initiative of like, oh, like what if we try these lenses, or what if we try lighting it this way versus just like taking what I give them and running with it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so a green flag would is, I would say someone that takes initiative, definitely communication. Like I love, like I just worked with a DP recently, Noah. Uh, I'll send you his page, but he's awesome. And like before the shoot, he was sending me lens addiction posts on Instagram, like, yo, check these out. Like maybe we try these, or yo, how do you feel about this lens? And
Yeah.
I just love that like back and forth communication. Um, versus like a red flag in a DP to me is just kind of like, what's the budget? Can I get more budget for this? Can I get more
Okay.
budget for that?
So budget
Uh,
is a bad
yeah,
word.
and they're just like, how many 2 days is this gonna be? Oh, I need to add another grip. I need to add another this. It's like I like someone that's like works with what they got
Yeah.
and it's just collaborative.
Yeah. Speaking of that,
Yeah.
do you remember the van and the U-Haul in K2?
Oh my gosh, bro, we were just up on that hill the other day. Let me tell you
No
about this.
way, dude.
Let me tell you about this host Peter, man. This guy, balls of steel. We fucking there's a mountain in Woodland Hills that we were filming on,
I have
and
videos and pictures of it, dude.
we had to take a U-Haul up it and then turn it around. And this is like a thin road. And one our poor grip Max, I love that guy to death. He's actually helps me on a lot of projects. He was like
Do you
a
remember
like a
that?
year old, 18-year-old, and we were trying to tell him to turn this U-Haul around. He was like, I'm gonna roll this thing down the hill. I can't do this. And then Peter goes, oh, do it. Gets in that shit, is backing it down the hill, and safely got us out of there. But that was scary.
Dude, everybody I've asked so far, like Hunter and Court, both remember that like vividly, like extremely vividly, which is really funny. Nah, yeah,
So
but dude, that was my first AD gig. So
yeah,
when Max
you
told me
you
he
had
like
to
didn't want to
put the
do it,
team on
bro.
your back.
When Max told me he didn't want to do it, I was like, I can't ask him to do it because like if things
Yeah,
go bad, things go bad. So
yeah, bro. No,
I
there
remember
was
that.
some
That was
at
hilarious,
those
dude.
shoots early on where like something could have gone terribly wrong, and like I just thank God that like no one died, no one got seriously
I
injured.
mean,
Like
none of them were that intense, right? Maybe a car rig or something.
none were that intense, but like that U-Haul could have rolled down the hill and exploded in someone's backyard
Yeah, but I
and
was
killed.
driving. That wasn't gonna happen.
Peter wasn't gonna let that happen. We had another time where we were hanging ASAP Ferg over a bridge in downtown upside down. What if the harness broke and we killed ASAP Ferg? There was another time where we were shooting. You weren't on the
Jesus,
shoot, but we
dude.
were shooting Slim Jimmy from Ray Shremmerd, and we were on an LA rooftop with no
Oh
fence or
shit.
anything,
Okay.
and he was lit. My boy was drinking that day, so he was like I was like, bro, what if we kill one half of Ray Shremmer? Like, there's a lot of those just little moments that I'm just thankful
Holy
like nothing
shit,
ever
dude.
happened.
What was your
But
favorite project from that time period?
from that time period, um, doing the Rick Ross documentary in Atlanta was really special.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's
we
sick.
we had Cortland, Amir, and Hunter for that one, just a tight knit team, and like Ross was just so cool and gracious with us, and like gave us a
Yeah,
lot of camera time, and like I feel like that project just came together beautifully. But with those like hustling music video days in LA, the Ketu stuff was amazing, but like exhausting. A really cool one to me was the Eye to Eye video.
yeah.
I believe you were on that one
That
with
was
the
my
four.
first AC gig, dude. That's the one.
Yeah, with Jared.
Yeah,
Another great DP, super sweet guy. Love working with him. But we literally built a set, a 4 room set from scratch,
that morning.
4 hours.
Yeah,
All the homies just we would just pull the U-Haul up to their house. Okay, what furniture you got? Boom, boom, boom. Because we didn't have a crazy budget for that to really realistically build out 4 rooms. So we got so scrappy with it, and our whole community just came to help on that one. And even like the tear down, like we teared it down in like 2 hours and got the fuck out of there.
it
Like,
was crazy, bro.
um,
I remember showing up that morning, and I was like, "Where's the set?" And you're like, "We're gonna build 4 rooms right now." And I'm like, "In what planet are we gonna?" And you guys did it, dude. I remember I
we
was
did it. Shout out my
sweating
pops.
over the camera, but
Yeah, putting in the work. My dad built the set. Um,
oh yeah, dude, your dad was on Show Me Something too.
he
He helped
wasn't
us
on
out,
show.
right?
He wasn't on Show Me Some, I don't think. Oh, he might have been at the house when we filmed that scene there, the green screen.
Because I remember meeting him in like one of those like parking alleys in downtown LA.
That was
It
probably for
might that might have been
that was,
that eye.
yeah,
Yeah,
but that shoot was like showed me that like teamwork is everything. And if you have
yeah,
a good team around you, you can accomplish anything. So
100%, dude.
I love that shoot.
What was like the hardest shoot you've had to deal with?
The hardest
Like the
shoots.
hardest shoot day
Mm.
that you had to like get yourself out of, or like
Honestly, we had one recently that was in the desert. The video didn't come out yet. I don't know if it's ever gonna come out. I hope it does. But it was like 3 hours away in the desert. But like once you got there, you didn't even get there yet. Then the site rep had to like drive 45 minutes onto this dry lake bed.
oh
Uh,
man, okay,
it's where they shot like the Don Toliver Gunna Lyrical Lemonade video. It's
oh,
like this big ass dry lake bed.
okay,
But just getting out there was insane. And then there was like an insane amount of these little flies that would be biting you all day long. It was like 100 and some degrees, so it was extremely hot.
Jesus, dude.
I was like a little under the weather, so I literally like mid shoot like, and I was directing and DPing, so I was
Oh
like
man,
all fucking hands on deck. I remember after one take, I like literally like had to hand Kyrie the camera and go throw up
Jesus,
and come
dude.
back out. And it went late as hell. We were out there until like midnight.
And does it get really
And
cold there at night?
yeah, the day before, my dad built a whole set, but he didn't anticipate the wind. There's extreme winds. And so literally builds this whole room that we're fucking building for 8 hours in the scorching sun. We're like, oh, we're almost done. Big ass gust of wind comes, blows the whole thing down after we had just spent
No,
hours on it. And so the next day we just had to like make like a makeshift version of it. That shoot was just hell. You can ask Hunter about that. Ask him about the white van shoot. That shoot was
he didn't
put
mention
us to
that, dude.
the test. That shit put us to the test, but the video came out amazing. You know, the artist was super cool about it, so it worked out. But like that was one of those videos where I was like, I gotta take a chill pill on these ideas. Like
Okay.
I'm doing a one take in a studio in downtown LA after this. I need a break from crazy ass music video concepts. But like
That was a music video, huh?
it was a music video, but I feel like I've kind of been like in desperation mode a little bit with like some of my pitches recently because full transparency, bro. 0 for 8 in my last pitches to the label.
Same
I've
label.
I've I've pitched 8 treatments, not the same label, different artists, different labels, but
Yeah.
I've pitched 8 music video treatments in the last like few months, haven't gotten any of them.
Oh
So
man.
that just shows that number one, they're not making as many music videos, and number two, is very competitive and selective. And a lot of
Yeah.
times the artist is gonna go with the director they know or the
100%. Yeah.
go with the director they know. So that's been frustrating, but that
I'm
puts you in this that puts you in this desperation mode when you're writing these treatments of like this needs to be the craziest best idea so that they pick
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like what happened with that White Vans one. Like the treatment was crazy. We had a sandstorm, we had a set build in the desert, we had a scene where the set lights on fire and collapses.
Oh
So it's
shit.
all this stuff that like oh yeah, hell yeah, they picked the treatment, but at what cost? Now I have to make this crazy
And
shit.
did
So
it
like
did you get what you wanted out of the day?
I got what I wanted. Like it was a sick video, like definitely some great shots for the reel, but I don't know. I feel like I was just in desperation mode when I made that treatment of like I
Yeah.
have to get it. And like that's not necessarily the best place to be in because those always aren't even the best ideas. Sometimes the best ideas
Mm.
are like I said, less is more, the more simple stuff that
Yeah.
can be executed with more precision. So that's kind of what I'm shooting for in this next chapter of music videos. But
What keeps you in the game?
my love for this shit. I really love this storytelling shit, and I believe I can be, one of the best to do it. Not even that it's a competition. Everyone is a storyteller, but like I'm also a competitor, and like
Yeah.
I know I can make movies that will inspire people, and I know I can make documentaries that'll change people's lives. So I just feel like it's a part of me at this point. I've been filming videos professionally now for almost 10 years. So
Whoa,
it's
dude.
like I'm deep enough in this shit that I'm at the point of no return and I'm
Yeah.
like I'm not gonna stop till I quote unquote make it, even though I've already made it. I'm doing what I love for a living. Like I've already made it. But
Yeah.
when you're in this industry, you're always just looking at like what the next big goal is. And
Yeah.
like that can be frustrating, but that's also the cool part of it. It's like there will always be another project.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
How do you try to play the waiting game? Like how do you try to like what do you do in
Um,
like the long periods of waiting?
in the long periods of waiting,
Cuz I'm ass at this, by the way.
yeah. No, it
I'm
sucks, bro.
terrible. Yeah.
I get very stressed out and like very, especially like when finances are tight. I'm like, fuck,
Yeah.
bro. Like I got bills to pay. I'm like, I need something to come through. So I get very like antsy in those times too. But I think I've started to have these creative outlets of like personal projects that I'm working on
Mm.
that bring me joy. So the basketball documentary is one of them. Basketball State, that's a deeply rooted passion
Yeah.
project that like I know if I keep chipping away at that, that's going to take me places. And now
Yeah.
it's the journal. I haven't released it yet, but I've shot 8 episodes.
You cut
And
up.
I've
What
been
was it called?
the Hooper's Journal.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's the show where I interview a hooper and then I play him in one-on-one. So that's kind of been like a creative outlet for me that, um, in the slow times, I'll hit up a hooper. I'll say, "Yo, let's come do this show with me. I'm gonna interview you, and then we're gonna play one-on-one." And
And
like,
you've shot 8 of them?
I've shot 8 episodes.
How's that been?
I'm 5-3.
Okay, let's go, bro.
Uh, but I've taken 3 L's in a row. My last, because I keep upping the level of competition. So
Oh,
I
really?
got cut by my boy Jordan Horn last episode, but like I'm playing against Division 1 players, professional players, so it's
That's what you
like
should be playing versus, bro.
yeah. But that shit brings me joy. And then also just like it's not all about film for me. Like I have a beautiful girlfriend, wife to be one day that like I love spending time with. I love playing basketball, period, even when I'm not filming it. I love watching movies. I've been on my Letterboxd shit finally,
Oh,
just
I'm
like
not doing
tracking
that. I'm not doing that.
watching. You're not doing it?
I'm not getting on that shit. No. I'm all right.
Get on it, bro.
No.
Give me the last 5 movies you watched.
In order?
Yeah, in order.
I saw Cinema Paradiso a few days ago, that Italian film. Do you know
Okay.
it?
No.
Really good, dude. It's like 1980s.
I
10
need
out
I
of
need to
10.
get foreign film shit for sure.
Yeah. What did I see before that? Oh, Complete Unknown. You saw that one?
I need to watch that. I heard that was good.
Really good, by the way. I saw it twice.
Yeah.
Um, right before that, I saw Complete Unknown twice, and then I saw.
This is what I'm saying, bro. If you had a letterbox, you would have already
What is this? A letterbox sponsorship, bro?
I could have watched what was 20 movies ago. What was, like I was the same way. I was like, fuck that, bro. I just remember them all. But like
Okay.
as filmmakers, like we need something to track all the movies we're watching because we watch a shit ton of them. So I'm
Well, what's
like,
the
I'll
point of
find,
that, though?
huh?
Like, how does that help you? Pitch me on it. How does that help you?
Because you can go back and remember the films you watched, or you can leave notes on certain things that you liked about films.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, and maybe this is just because I smoke too much weed, but like my memory is starting to get a little fuzzy sometimes when I'm like thinking about movies I watched like way back. So
Mm,
I don't know. I just wanted something to track them. Um, but yeah, that's what I do in the waiting period too. Just watch a shit ton of movies and shows and just try to get inspired.
yeah. Yeah. By the way, I wanted to ask you like a billion questions about basketball state, but like before Hunter, I watched his documentary, and then before Court, he sent me a short film. And then
Oh
like the
yeah.
problem with the podcast episodes, it's not a problem, but like the first hour of those podcasts is us talking about a film that's not released.
Yeah.
So nobody knows what the hell we're talking about.
Yeah.
So like when you
No,
release it
I like how you
officially,
approach
dude.
like
What was it?
uh no, I'm saying I like how you approach this though. Like it's like the film, we could talk about the film a little, but there's a lot more shit to talk about. But what'd you just ask when it's gonna
Like
be
when
released?
you release it, I'd love to have you back on to talk about that for like an hour.
Yeah, that would be
So,
amazing.
but how's the reception been so far, dude? I know you showed it in Toronto and you showed it in. Is it what you
Minnesota.
wanted? Is it like expected or?
Yeah, bro. I think for me, even more so than the screenings, is like the social media love and attention has been like overwhelming.
Oh yeah.
Like I posted it on TikTok, the trailer a couple weeks ago, and it got almost 200,000 views and like a ton of people from my city like, where can I watch this? Where can I watch this? Like,
Oh
wow,
shit.
beautiful. I love this storytelling. And when I posted on Twitter, same thing happened. It went local viral. It got like 750,000 views on there. And
Damn, dude.
on Instagram, it went well. So like just seeing that reception of like this is a story people want to see, especially from Minnesota, but even in other places, like people can feel the storytelling and like that was so validating as just a director and a storyteller because I had that project in the cave in the shadows for 3 years almost before I posted any snippet, any trailer.
Yeah.
So I always had this internal battle of like, are people gonna give a fuck about this? Like, are
Yeah.
people even gonna care about this? Like, is my city even gonna get behind this? The one place I need to, and they did.
How
And when I
rewarding
showed
was
it,
that, bro?
you said what?
How rewarding was that?
It was so rewarding, bro. Just because I put so much time and hours into this, and it means so much to me. Like I've literally cried over this project many nights, and like just to see that people are responding to it and care
Yeah.
about it, like want to see it, just means the world, bro. And like even if I didn't have an audience, I would still make it just because I know it's a story to be told. But it is validating when you see that there's an audience building and there's people that want. want to, you know, see the story pan out. So
I feel like that gets you hyped
it
up to
put,
cross the finish line, right?
yeah, it put
Like to
that
finish
battery
the
in my
rest of
back.
it.
I was like, I
Yeah.
gotta finish it. And like I feel like what I've made so far isn't even the best part of it. Like these next
Oh
few
shit.
episodes
Okay.
are like the deepest that I dive into like these player stories. And so
Over
yeah, I
deliver.
feel like the best is yet to come with that project. But it did mean a lot to get that response from it,
Yeah.
and I want to like take that momentum into whatever's next.
Yeah. Do you feel like the landscape's changed since you started directing? Like, do you feel like if you were coming up now, you would have had to do some stuff different?
Yeah,
Besides the fact that music videos are like sort of dying out.
yeah. As the industry changed, I feel like it definitely has. I feel like people's attention span just gets shorter and shorter, and so it's
Yeah.
kind of like an attention game now. It's like who can hook you the best in 5 seconds.
Yeah. How has that affected you? I meant, by the way, not just like how is like the industry affecting a director?
Um,
Like for the stuff kind of stuff that you
Definitely
make too.
made me like change the way that I edit a bit. Like,
Quicker or
yeah, like usually like every single one of my projects now, there's like some sort of riser or like quick inciting act
okay.
with the
Yeah.
first like
Just
few
immediate.
seconds.
Yeah.
I know like you need to catch people's attention. Whereas when I first started directing, I would sometimes have these long dramatic introductions or shots, and it's like
Nobody
it
cares
sucks that
anymore.
people are going to scroll past that now, and it's
Yeah.
like it shouldn't even have to be looked at that way. And I think there still is like a world and space for long form content, like film festivals and Vimeo and
Yeah.
certain platforms that still are friendly to like just tell the story the best way possible. It doesn't have to be some clickbait, quick shit.
Yeah.
But I think I also want people to watch my shit, you know? So I think I've adapted how I edit. Probably how I edit is what has changed the most. Like I
Okay.
still approach projects the same with like my goal of storytelling, but like how I edit has changed to like a faster pace and like
Even for the doc?
even with the doc, bro, like
Really?
not every part of the doc is
No,
like
no, for
that.
sure. But like,
It's still like I that's the thing that I think sets my documentaries apart as well as like I'm coming at it from a music video director standpoint.
okay.
Some documentaries can get kind of boring when they're slow and drawn out. I still like to cut to the beat, and I still
Yeah.
like to have dramatic montages where footage is flying at you, like cut to the beat perfectly, like a music video, because I feel like that's going to draw people in.
Yeah.
And then you give them the story, you slow it down, and you pace it out, and you give them the storytelling. So I feel like I've kind of found that balance of like having like good pacing but still like staying true to the story um has been important.
Dude, I'm just so curious when you shot that because I remember I had this conversation with you in LA and you're like, bro, I have like 80 terabytes or something.
Yeah.
And you're like, I gotta start figuring out the footage. Remember that? I think it was before you started.
Yeah.
How the hell did you get over that? Like, how do you start? How do you how do you do that?
Just so, just so many hours of going through the footage and
Just
uh
organizing everything.
organizing it, but then I think music helps me a lot. I'm like
Okay.
that's where like the music video director background comes in. Like a lot of times when I'm starting this section, like say for example, the Jones family section. The Jones are these two brothers that they both play in the NBA now. They both grew up in Minnesota. I used to play with one of them. And when I was starting to edit their section, I'm like, fuck, I got all their interviews, I got all their game footage. Like, how do I even start this? But I just found this song that really spoke to me. That was like a very epic introduction song.
Yeah.
And so I started with this shot of them in the gym working out and you don't hear any music. It's just them working out. And I'm like, there's one family from Minnesota that has defied all the odds. And then I bring in this epic song, boom. And then I just from there, I just cut the intro of their part of the documentary like a music video. I took all their greatest highlights,
Yeah.
times where they hit buzzer beaters, times where they dunked on someone, times where they had a crazy block, and I cut together their intro like a music video. And then it ends with the Jones family. And that's like, I'm like, okay, this feels sick. This feels like a great introduction to make you go, whoa, like who is this family?
And that got
And then
you hyped too, right?
it got me hyped.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, now I can like start to tell their story. And so then I bring in their older brother, and he's like, they have all basketball has always been a part of our family. Our mom played, our dad played, our uncle played. Then, then we slow it down and we start to tell the story. But it's
Yeah.
like every section of my documentary starts with damn near a music video montage that like
Okay. Because that's
tension.
just who you are, bro.
That's just who I am. That's just how I edit, how I came up, and what I feel like is most interesting to watch is
Yeah.
like make me care about them a little bit first, and then we can tell the long story.
Who's like an
Uh,
artist you're like your dream artist to shoot a music video for? I don't think I ever asked you that, bro.
that's
I
a
might
great
have.
one. Childish Gambino would be
Yeah.
amazing. I'd love to work with him.
Bring him out of retirement.
Yeah, bring him out of retirement. Playboy Cardi. I'm a big Cardi fan.
Dude, I saw your story.
Yeah, bro. That new album's nuts.
I gotta listen to it today. I didn't hear it
He's a few years in the future. A lot of people don't understand what he's saying, but
yet. Okay.
he's a couple years into the future. Uh, but ASAP Rocky, I love his
Yeah.
music. I feel like he has some of the best music videos, so it'd be an honor to do one for him. And
That
then
last
outside,
one was crazy.
yeah,
The one with all the
it's
crazy
all the random
visual
shit.
elements. Yeah, bro, that was crazy, bro.
Yeah, that won some awards. Yeah, I would say that those three come off the top of my head. I would also love to do one for like Doechii or like a dope female artist. Like
Yeah, she's had some cool stuff recently too.
yeah, yeah, she's awesome. She's a star. But yeah, man.
Dude, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. I know
Well,
you said
you
like
feel
40
like you
minutes.
got enough to
Yeah,
cut
yeah.
some clips out.
Probably like 10, 20, 12, 10 to 15 clips, dude.
Hell yeah, there you
So,
go. That's what it's all about. The clip downs.
yeah, because realistically, I don't think many people are going to watch the podcasts in the beginning, like sit down for 2 hours or anything, but everybody's going to, like, people will see the clips.
Yeah,
Because I'll send you everything before anything's posted.
for sure.
But,
The
the
clips
way,
are where it's at though. Like I'm taking that same approach with the Hoopers Journal. Like I'm
yeah,
gonna put the full episodes on YouTube of the interview in the full game,
clips are where it's
but
at.
to promote it, it's gotta be cut downs of it
Yeah.
and like cut downs of the highlights. So like
I'll
that's
send you some of the clips. Some of the ones I did for Hunter are a little bit weaker because those are the first ones I did. So I'm going to rework them before I publish them. But I'll
oh,
send
for
you one
sure.
of the ones I did recently. They'll roughly be between 7 to like 12 clips per episode and uh and a trailer that I have to cut together for you too.
Hell
So
yeah. Can't wait to see it, man.
yeah, I can't wait to start editing. I have like 12 videos due tomorrow morning for a
Let's
client,
go.
and I'm fucked. I haven't
Hey
even
man.
started all those.
This the life we chose.
I guess, dude. I guess. Would you? Yeah. You said you'd be the best basketball player over best director. That's crazy though. For
Yeah,
me,
just because like I actually, yeah, I don't know if I well, you said best documentarian.
I said best director.
Best director? Okay, that might change my answer.
Would you be
Uh,
Nolan or Jordan? That's about it.
it's I love them both so much.
Yeah, I don't
So
even
that's
know if
the
I have an
goal.
answer for that, bro.
That's the goal to be the best Hooper director.
Okay,
I'm a combine.
be the best
No
game.
director is beating me in basketball, though. I want to say that right now. No director will ever beat me in basketball. I'd like you to find one that can, and if they do, props to them.
Give me a few years. I'm getting back into the game.
Bet.
But
Let's go.
yeah,
Let's
thanks a
go.
lot, dude. Appreciate you. Say hi to
Yeah,
Sal for me, dude. Please
I
say hi.
got you, man. Talk
Talk
soon.
soon, yeah. But peace, brother.